Hi, everyone. This is Pam Padley with Focus IT, and I want to thank you for joining our call today. We're going to go ahead and get started and go over the few things that were included in our last release. And I'd like to start out today by talking about the changes that we made to our lead intake page. On the lead intake page, for anyone who didn't know, we now have the option for the page to be displayed in Spanish, as well as we have the option for a borrower to display it in English. What's nice about it is they have the ability to go back and forth between Spanish and English when needed, and for it to still retain their data. Another thing that we've added to our lead intake page is when a potential borrower comes in and completes this page and they click submit, we now have an email that is being sent to the borrower. We have a pop-up window that's coming up to let the borrower know that they should be receiving a confirmation email. And in the confirmation email, we're simply thanking them for their interest with, and of course, this would be your company name. Let them know that your company has received their information. We'll be contacting them shortly to review the application. And then if they have any questions, please call or email. And we're including the loan officer's email address, but in this case, it didn't insert a phone number on my sample because there wasn't one in my demo site. But you get the idea. The reason for putting in the follow-up confirmation to the borrower is I know that we have had a few of our customers that have said that a borrower has submitted through their lead intake page and they've never received that lead into Pulse or to Point. So we wanted to put a couple more stops in there to make sure that the borrower follows through and does click submit, that their internet connection is still valid, that they do get the confirmation page in the email. So when providing your link to your potential borrowers, to your leads, make sure that you tell them that to look out for the confirmation pop-up window as well as the confirmation email, and you should be good to go. The system also is still sending the loan officer the email with all of the information that came in from that lead. So that part of it has not changed at all. Okay, let's talk about the read-only account. For my customers who didn't know yet, we have within Pulse developed what we call a read-only account. We were getting a lot of requests from our customers that wanted to be able to create a non-billable account for like a realtor or someone else within their company or an auditor or someone to be able to log into Pulse and to be able to see a certain set of data within the Pulse application without giving them access to Point and being sure that you're in control of what information they see. I'll show you how that's done in just a moment, but I'm logged in as a read-only account right now. And the way it worked is the executor, the Pulse executive, would create these views and have these views, be able to share these views with the read-only account. Once the view was shared, the read-only account person would be able to see those views in their drop-down list, but that's all that they could do. They could see the different views that were shared with them, and they could change between those views. But they didn't have the ability to do much else with them. We were finding that to be a bit of a problem. Maybe you shared a view with them, you spoke with them, you added some additional information, you wanted to share a new view with them. What it was doing is it was creating their drop-down list of views was getting quite junked up. Also, it wasn't giving them much flexibility to mark them as their favorites or pin them to the nav bar. So we've added their ability to manage their views. By giving them the ability to manage the views, all it's allowing them to do is mark one as their default, which is a view that will always open when they log in, just like for you, allowing them to pin a particular view to the nav bar so that they have easy access to it. And also, if you've had to share a new view with them and the old view is no longer needed, they have the ability to actually go into their system and delete that view. So that way it helps keep their list a little bit cleaner and gives them a little bit more flexibility on that. And the way that it works, for the ones that don't know, is when you're in Pulse, now you have to be logged into Pulse as an executive only an executive or an admin has the ability to access the setup screen, and in return has the ability to share views with a read-only account. So once you're logged into the system, all you would need to do is come over to your initials in the top right-hand corner and go to Settings. When you're under Settings, you're going to come over here to Users, and under Users, you're going to click on Create. You're going to add their email address and their name, and over here under the roles, what you're going to do is you're going to choose Pipeline Read Only. That's all they're going to have access to is a pipeline view. It's going to be read only, and they're only going to be able to see the data that you shared with them. So once you have the read only view selected and you've added them as a member to, most of my companies have a main branch. A few have a few other branches. And you've saved this, they're going to get the same confirmation email that any user would get. The difference is on the read-onlys, again, they can only read the data. They can only read the data that you've given them access to. Also, you are not charged for a read-only account. Okay, a read-only account will show up as an enabled account on your site, but for the purpose of billing, the read-only account is not billed. Excuse me. Once you have that account set up as an executive, you can come in and you can create a pipeline view. Once you've created that pipeline view, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to view that pipeline view. So you're going to come in and you're going to give it a name, you're going to choose your data folders, and you're going to choose the columns in which you want them to see. And most importantly, what you're not used to doing in the past that you're going to need to remember to do in the future is to set those filters so that you're controlling what loans they see within that pipeline view. If in the past you've created views and you've shared them with different loan officers within your system, you have to remember that loan officer has a level of security where they're set up to where they're only allowed to see their own loans. Okay, the read-only view is given right to see whatever loans you've chosen to display on that pipeline view. So if you were setting it up for a realtor, you'd want to add a filter so that it only displays the ones where that realtor is assigned to those loans. You wouldn't want them seeing all of your loans. Even though you are controlling the data that they're seeing, you still want to make sure you control what files that they see. Once you have that view set up in the system, all you're going to do is go down to Shared Views. You're going to select that view, like for instance, my PAM view, and then you're going to go down, find that read-only account that you created, simply check the box and click OK. So you're going to share that view with them just like you would be sharing it with another loan officer. The only difference is whatever you see within that view. So please keep in mind, if you applied no filter to this and you were to share, you're not allowed to share our main views, but if you were to share a view that you created, let's say my PAM view, when you log in and you see 17 loans, when they log in, they're going to see 17 loans. If out of those 17 loans, some of those they were not the realtor on, you would not want them to see them. You get to see all 17 because you get to see all loans. They're going to see all 17 because you didn't apply a filter. Okay, so just be careful when you do utilize that read-only view. And if you want assistance with that, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help. Okay, so let's talk about this view that I have here. Let's talk about this wonderful option that you now have as an ability to create a view that's going to show you the birthdays for the month. One of the requests that we were getting quite often was the ability to run a report for birthdays for the month, because we still have a lot of our customers out there that believe in what I think the term is snail mail. They actually believe in sending out postcards or they want to make sure they plan ahead to make those phone calls to wish their clients a happy birthday. Well, in the past, you weren't able to do that because when you set a date range, it triggered on the day, month, and year. We've now given you the ability that when you go in and you choose date of birth, it's actually going to come up and it's going to allow you to choose a month. Now, the way our system is, you can now also choose a day within that month. You're not going to do that very often, but because of the way the code was, we weren't able to hide this field, but the main one you're going to be looking for is to select each month. So in December, the middle of December, you would go in and you would change the month on your birthday view to January so that you could see the birthdays coming up in January. So in this case, mine has January, So when I go out and I look at that view, you'll notice that all of the loans on this view all have birthdays in the month of January. It doesn't matter what day in January, it doesn't matter what year they were born in, but all the ones for the month of January are now displayed as a birthday view. This is a great feature because it's like any view that you build. You have the ability to add their physical address, phone numbers, email addresses, whatever you need to that view. And always remember, what's great about our views is you have the ability to download them to an Excel spreadsheet. So if you need to extract that information and send it off to whatever entity you're using to send out those birthday cards and things like that, you now have the ability to do that, or simply print it out and provide it to a receptionist or someone in your office that's going to hand fill out those cards for you. So it makes for a wonderful additional feature to the system, and it's something that we've been asked for quite often. So we're really happy to be able to share that with our customers now. Another thing is a change that we made is within our, oh, I'm going to apologize, it kicked me out. That wasn't very nice. So give me just a moment, everyone. I'm going to log back in to my marketing site. And we're going to talk about the emails that went out. Okay, one of the issues that we're finding for our customers is a lot of our customers, when they get copied on emails, especially emails like the birthday email, they want to be able to identify who that email goes to, or they want to, when they get copied on it, they want to see their names, their email address, something along those lines, in case they want to pick up the phone and make an additional phone call, or they also want to send an additional personal note, whatever it might be. What was happening within our system when the emails were getting generated is the system was actually, if you had an email for their birthday coming from the loan officer and that was going to the borrower, it would generate one email for that. Then it would generate a second email if you were being CC'd on it. And then if you were having a specific copy of that email sent to a specific email address, it was creating a third email address. So what was happening is instead of one email being sent out with the Ccs and Bcc'S included, which is the one going to the borrower, so you have access to their email address and stuff, it was sending out individual ones, which was making it a bit of a challenge for customers who wanted to identify specifically who that birthday email belonged to, or who that lead email belonged to, or whatever that might be. So we've changed the system up a little bit, so now it's one email that goes out that includes the two, as well as the CC and the BCC. Another thing that we've done inside the Pulse application is we've given our customers the ability under contacts to be able to add notes. So if you're within a contact and you open up a contact, we still need to do a lot of work to our contact section, but some of our customers were wanting to make notes on contacts that they had in there for realtors or things along those lines. You now have the ability to take that note, and when you do, it's going to get recorded to the activity section, just like this one did here. Another new role that we created is we were getting a lot of requests within the companies that they wanted to give someone the ability to assist them in setting up emails and rules for their company, but they didn't want to give them carte blanche access to the Pulse application. They wanted to be able to restrict them to limited abilities. So what we did is we went in and we created a new role within the system, and this new role is called an executive light. Oh, there's mine, it disappeared for a moment. It's now called an executive light. So when you log into the system as an executive light, basically you are able to get to the settings tab, but once you get to the settings tab, the only thing you have access to is what appears over here and the drop-down list starting with the email template and below. An executive light person that you want to give them limited access so they can assist you now has the ability to access setting up the email templates as well as the text if you choose. They have the ability to help you with developing and deploying your checklist, as well as they have the ability to set up rules. So this was a new feature that we rolled out. We're really excited about it, and it's giving our customers a little bit more flexibility to get that extra little helping hand that they need. Another exciting thing that we did within our application is we wanted to put more at the fingertips of our users the ability to get support. You know that you can email us, you know that you can call into our support line, but we also have some additional YouTube training videos and things like that out there that are available to our customers. And also, we have an online chat. We were getting a lot of people that did not like the online chat window that was blocking what they could see on their pipeline view. And I definitely agreed. I didn't like it down there either, to be very honest. So what we've done is we've moved it all up here next to your initials in the form of a question mark. When you click on it, it's going to open up our Quick Help window. In the Quick Help window, it's going to give you access to our how-to videos for Pulse as well as Pulse Marketing. And it's going to give you access to some of our training videos that we've recorded and put out there for customers who weren't able to attend the calls. Things as basic, Pulse Basics as well as Pulse Marketing Basics. It's going to give you a link that's going to allow you to open up a support ticket. We have our privacy statement out there, which is important. But most of all, too, it's going to give you that link that's going to allow you to re-engage that chat window just in case you want to do an online chat to get help with your questions. So that's a new feature that we added. We're really excited about it, and it made it nice for our customers. And that's it, everyone. Those are the things that came out in this last release. We have another release that will be coming out in the next couple days, and we'll be sending everyone an update on that release, and we'll be scheduling another call to go over those. Our releases are getting done quicker now, and they're going to become much more frequent. So we'll be letting you know after each release all the new things that you can be looking for within our Pulse application. So with that all said, what I'd like to do is to see if anyone has any questions before we end the call. I don't see any questions in the question box. I'll give everyone just another minute. It can be about anything that we covered on the new items that I showed you, or if you have a general question that you'd like to take the opportunity while I'm on the call with you to ask, feel free to do so. Does anyone have any questions I can answer before we end the call? Not today? Okay, no problem at all, everyone. Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and joining this call. I have been recording it. I will upload it and send everyone a link to that recording. Everyone, again, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.